Hey guys, what's up? It's Monkozunky and welcome to a new video. In this video we're going to be talking about the new Seren spells and prayers, mostly the skilling aspect. So a lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about these, and I gotta say there is some combat related spells and prayers as well. We're just going to be talking about the skilling ones today because skilling is way more exciting than combat. Not really, but there are some really nice additions to the game throughout two of these spells and two of these prayers that I'm going to be focusing on, and I'll give a review on these ones in particular, and then we'll talk about some of the best ways to use them. So the first thing to touch on is the curse Superheat Form. Now the beautiful thing about this curse, and my favorite thing about it in fact, is that the prayer drain rate is quite low. So one thing you can do is you can just fill your inventory with prayer renewals if you are an Iron Man account, or super prayer renewals because they're slightly cheaper if you are a main account, and you don't need any regular prayer potions at all. So a few places to use these is first of all Arctic Pines. Now this is mostly recommended for Iron Man because there are better ways to chop pines that I'm going to be talking about later in this video for main accounts, but one really solid way to use this curse is just hang out at the Arctic Pines, and if you have the full woodcutting suit and you have urns as well, kind of difficult to get an Iron Man account, which is why I don't have them in my inventory. Well over 100k woodcutting XP per hour, and you get 100k fire making as well, so that's really nice because you don't need to burn any logs and you're getting fire making XP. Now a better way to get fire making XP using the Superheat Form prayer, but unfortunately pretty much the epitome of not AFK, so not everyone is going to be a huge fan of this method, but if you are up to the challenge of an incredibly click intensive method, you will be very much rewarded because this method is well over 600k fire making XP per hour. Some things you can do to benefit this, of course, is wearing the flame gloves and the ring of fire. Also a clan avatar, having that out will help quite a bit, but the Superheat Form will just burn all of these curly roots for you, so you don't even have to worry about lighting them in fire pit, and you just chop down everything automatically. Again, all you need is prayer renewals in order to burn all of the roots. And finally, last but certainly not least, probably my personal favorite method here for Iron Man accounts is using the Superheat Form at the Living Rock Caverns. And the beautiful thing about this is an incredibly cheap and incredibly easy smithing method, because of course the Superheat Form is going to be smelting all of these bars for you. So for any of you who have done superheat mining in the LRC before, you know it's very click intensive. No longer, because with this prayer it just does it all automatically. You also want to pick yourself up some perfect juju mining potions off of the Grand Exchange or make them yourself, and these will occasionally start an effect which lasts for 30 seconds where all the bars are smelted for you and sent to your bank, which will pay for any cost spent in prayer renewals and also in potions. Now one thing I do want to say here is make sure to equip goldsmithing gauntlets like I failed to, because the goldsmithing gauntlets do stack with the Superheat Form and they also work with the perfect juju mining potions now, so you'll get a lot more smithing XP if you choose to wear them like I forgot to in this clip. But if you want up to 100k smithing XP per hour if you have the blacksmith suit and the avatar summoned, then this is a great way to go. Really inexpensive smithing training. Alright, so far so good. Superheat Form looks really useful. It looks like something you'd use all the time while skilling, and it's going to really benefit you doing fire making or mining, right? So let's move on to some other things that you can do with these Seren spells, and in particular, first of all, we're going to be looking at Crystal Mask, and this reduces your chance of being caught while thieving. So the only unfortunate thing about this spell is it only benefits one skill, compared to Superheat Form, which can benefit multiple ones, but this does help out a lot if you're using it dwarf traders with max thieving boost, which unfortunately I just can't showcase on my Iron Man account. But some things that you can bring along with you is you can bring prayer potions, and this does clog up your inventory, so it makes dwarf traders much less AFK. Just keep that in mind, but it does help. You can use a light form curse, which will cause Crystal Mask to activate more often. You can also bring a Abyssal Lurker to boost your thieving, and you can wear the thieving aura, which is the 5-finger discount aura, and all of that, if you have the max boost, is around 800,000 XP per hour on World 48, of course, because there's always other people there, so you don't have to worry about luring the traders all by yourself. You can also use Crystal Mask just thieving the Prifddinas elves, and if you do this, I would not recommend using the light form curse, because the main reason to use it at elves is to make them incredibly AFK, because you hardly have to pay attention at all here. At 99 thieving, especially if you have all of the thieving outfits, so the Arctic Cape 4 and the exoskeleton suit, as well as an Abyssal Lurker summoned, you just hardly ever get caught at these elves. So this is a great thing to do if you're working on homework or something like that, and you want thieving to be as AFK as possible. Definitely try using Crystal Mask here. Okay, now we move on to possibly the most controversial out of all the updates that came out with the recent Seren quest, and this is the spell Crystallize. So one thing to keep in mind with Crystallize is you always want to be using the light form curse along with it, because it will boost the XP that you get while harvesting from a crystallized location. So now that we got that out of the way, now that you all know, bring prayer pots with you everywhere you go now when you're skilling. If you're using Crystallize, let's talk about some really good uses for it. So first of all is fishing, and unfortunately Crystallize does not work with barbarian fishing spots. It would be really awesome if it did, but you have to stick with regular fly fishing, which is not that much of a downgrade, because doing this with a whole lot of fishing boosts, so again, some stuff that I talked about earlier, auras, skilling auras are always nice. You can wear stuff like the fishing outfit from Fish Flingers, you can have a clan avatar on your world, there's always scrimshaws that you can wear while skilling that will boost your XP as well, but with max boost fishing, it's around 160k XP per hour crystallizing the regular fishing spots, so it's very good. You can also use Crystallize at Arctic Pines, so this way you're not getting any logs, so unfortunately no fire making XP this way, but the nice thing about this is the woodcutting XP is much better. So again, using light form, using all the boosts we've been talking about throughout this video, it's over 200k woodcutting XP per hour cutting down Arctic Pines, which makes it comparable to doing stuff like evil trees, but you don't have to wait for an evil tree to be called out, and it's not a daily this way. You can just grind it out with cutting Arctic Pines, so makes wood cutting really quick. I would recommend using Crystallize if you're a main account, if you can buy soul runes on Arctic Pines if you want to get 99 wood cutting. You can also use Crystallize on granite rocks, and this makes granite over 250k mining XP per hour. It's pretty ridiculous, so it is faster than Seren stones. The one downside is it's not AFK. Again, it's kind of expensive because you have to spend a lot on the runes, but this does make granite mining really amazing if you choose to do this over Seren stones. Seren stones still have the ability where you can AFK, they require very little attention, but if you want to get mining done as fast as possible, make sure you're granite mining. Again, some stuff you can do to help yourself out here is Lava Titan, Rock Crushing Scrimshaw, the Quarry Master Aura, and you can also bring mining urns as well, but if you're going to bring urns, make sure you have a really high prayer boost, because otherwise you'll have to bank rather often. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys learned something, and hopefully you're now convinced to do that new quest and make full use out of all the benefits that the new spells and prayers can provide you in terms of skilling. Now, one thing I did want to say really quickly is I've had just about everyone I know on the clan and everyone I have added suggest, oh, on your Iron Man account where you still need to skill, just camp spiritual mages for soul runes. I wanted to show off really quickly that they're not very good for soul runes, and this is pretty much the best way to get soul runes in the game for Iron Man. So fingers crossed, hopefully we will get a soul rune altar, and if that happens, then Crystallize will become viable for Iron Man as well. Unfortunately, it's not really at the moment, so for you main accounts though, make sure you're making full use of Crystallize. It's going to speed up your maxing process by quite a bit, and it is very good. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully we'll get another Iron Man episode out soon, so until then, farewell.